on it. And we're back.
Voila.
You would never be on this show.
That's
nigga.
funny. Is that some shit we can talk about on Patreon? We might have to bring that up.
We'll talk about it on Patreon. There's Patreon people. It'll carry over still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll permeate.
It'll permeate. We're at that level now. But
that's beautiful.
Bully and the Beast podcast. When's the last time any of y'all saw it? That sounds crazy to hear, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I see it on IG. I be seeing like shorts.
Little clips of shorts.
I'm be honest, my Instagram ain't even been showing me the source no more.
Word.
You need to go over there and like 2 or 3 posts.
I gotta manually get up in that shit.
Yeah, you gotta re-jump it in your algorithm for sure.
I was about to say, like, why have you been interested in the podcast?
Well, I just watched it.
I didn't mean to say. I'm just curious.
Why you say it like that? You just said it like it was impossible for it to be good.
Have you been interested in the podcast?
Yeah.
Well, no, I used to watch it every week. Like I was heavy on it.
Okay.
You was heavy on it? I never got
when it first started.
So you never got heavy on it?
I never got heavy. I saw the clips and I supported because it's wax, but you know.
I was watching it pretty regularly too.
I was on at least a 2-year regular for at least 2 years.
I was in there.
At least.
They still doing this virtual shit.
So the biggest thing, all right, so I watched this episode. It's all virtual. Wax looked like he cut his hair. Wax works at Publix now.
Are you dead ass?
I'm not. That's a complete lie. It was a joke that was carried out throughout the podcast.
Okay.
But I'm going to title it that Wax fell off so bad after getting fired from Charlamagne. He works at Publix, even though it was obviously a joke during the podcast.
I'm about to say.
Because it was somebody in the Reddit believed it. That's honestly what made me go. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I said to myself, I'm going to watch a Bully and the Beast episode just because I haven't seen it in a while. And I used to love the show.
Yeah.
And then I went on Reddit and I saw somebody saying, hey, like, I have a serious question. Like, does Wax work at Publix now? And I was like, ain't no way this nigga fell off that hard.
Bro,
you know
they would never hire him at Publix.
I was about to say, maybe Walmart.
He doesn't.
Maybe like
he's too big for them green ass shirts.
Costco pushing carts.
A corner store, nigga.
But right.
Nigga catching.
But he lays his own eggs. He lives off the land.
They were cooking him in the comments saying, nigga, that was a joke and your dumbass actually took it so seriously you brought it over here to Reddit.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna title the thing that anyway, regardless. It's whatever. But yeah, I thought they still have great chemistry. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think I didn't get to the point where they were so virtual, but when I started watching this show, L'Oreal wasn't even in radio yet.
Right.
Either.
Yeah.
So
She damn sure wasn't.
once she got into
Before the
radio,
morning
I think
hustle.
the show essentially went virtual 100% because
She has duties.
the morning
moved.
hustle's
She
in
moved, I
DC.
think. Yeah, she moved.
Yeah, the morning hustle's in DC.
It's in DC.
It's in DC, yeah. So
I don't know why I thought that was in North Carolina.
Nah, Morning Hustle's in. No, we
play it.
get it on our radio
Syndicated.
station. Yeah, it's syndicated down here. But so yeah, like she's in DC majority of the time, and then she would be going up to New York, which is still a stretch of a ride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then, and now Wax doesn't even work with Charlamagne no more, so he's probably back in South Carolina or wherever the fuck he's at. I don't actually know where he's at.
Yo, it looks like he's at a different place every time.
Yeah, right. And then
Bouncing from different bitches' cribs.
And then Angelo, oh my God, that's so funny that you said that because because we couldn't see it, but they're obviously on Zoom, and it says the girl's name, whose laptop he's on.
This nigga, this
And
Sarah
L'Oreal was like, all right, Danielle, or some shit like that. And he was like, yeah, what are you talking about? What are you talking
Cassandra,
about?
bitch, what?
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck are you talking
Started
about?
getting flushed.
She said, nigga, we see it. And he was like, well, obviously nothing's changed over here.
And he doesn't,
like, you know what I'm
and
saying?
he's not
Like,
savvy enough technological wise to
right.
change the Gmail.
or log into his shit or whatever.
Yeah.
But overall,
He
bro,
thought private mode was gonna hide
I did think it was I enjoyed myself. They're really short too. As you can see, they're only an hour.
Yeah.
They've
Pretty
been
much.
doing this podcast for a really long time. Now
been
the
like
YouTube,
5 years.
This is I know these YouTube numbers are really low, but it's obviously this is a really audio based podcast. Like they come from the Loudspeaker family, and it still says Loudspeaker on the audio on
Apple Podcasts.
on Apple Podcasts and shit like that. So I think it is still up underneath the Loudspeaker.
Out Mr. Morrow.
And these shits
Did I
do be
put
like these shits do be like an hour long.
Nah, there's nothing.
Yeah, it's like a straight out. I didn't have no timestamps on it. Yeah, so the one thing that did make me happy was Wax's talking points were still the same. There was I don't know why that made me happy, but it was like, man, nothing's changed, you know?
Ignorance is bliss.
He was pretty much talking about, this is so stupid, but y'all have heard this, how he washes his hands before he uses the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because his meat is clean. That was like a 10-minute conversation.
Yeah.
You know, there were certain combos that like I was like, yo, we're literally having the same conversations, which then
You gotta smack yourself harder.
which did kind of make me think like, damn, I wonder if he'd be like, now that he doesn't work with Charlamagne and travel everywhere, like his stories aren't gonna be as good.
It's
Because
luxurious.
he's not adding these extravagant new stories no more.
I mean, I don't know if
You know what I'm
Charlamagne
saying?
gave him his whole life.
He always made the story though.
He did.
It was his decision making. It wasn't his location.
But it did feel like the opportunity to be in certain places created those stories. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just
You
like
gotta think,
just
though.
like when you live more,
Yeah.
more life experience, better stories, better music, that whole thing. You know?
Most of his stories in Brilliant Idiots was from shit he did in South Carolina or New Jersey before he was on.
But then sometimes we would get those stories like Chico Bean would talk about how the girl was butt naked on the balcony and he was praying to her with the Bible.
Yeah, you think he stopped?
Instead of fucking her.
You think he stopped praying over pussy? That's what I'm saying. Wax is
No.
gonna be wax wherever he is.
And this is all off of one episode. Obviously, I'm not back on the rotation or rhythm
Yeah.
yet, but I might because it's only an hour, bro. This is nothing.
Let's watch some of this.
Yeah, just click anywhere. It doesn't fucking matter.
No, use your little Tom Hanks
I will
ability.
say it is amazing. Oh yeah, give us a timestamp. I will say it's amazing that L'Oreal and Wax,
Who are these niggas?
as terrible as their relationship started, they're really homies, bro.
That's like their relationship's
Yeah,
fine.
they're cool.
They're really homies
They're
for
cool.
real.
I didn't like him at first.
Wax?
Not him.
Oh,
Yeah, he doesn't like anybody better than him. But let's go to 3249, nigga.
Dix Anonymous was the way the title came.
I'm
up.
sorry.
Dix Anonymous.
Yeah, saying that with no context is crazy.
Oh.
Like
They
that
were-
was the first word you
Oh,
said.
Dixie
You didn't say-
Anonymous.
You didn't say
it's
this the title
Dixie.
was.
But it's really. You have to mark these.
Okay.
But that's how you have to do that for the YouTube algorithm, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but he was talking about it for so long because she's like, "Yo, you keep talking about your meat. It's like you just left a Dix Anonymous a meeting or something like that."
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Wax an exhibitionist.
But yeah, we'll watch a little bit of this. Yo, this shit was funny. So this white dude up here in the corner, his name is Jimmy or Timmy, I think. This is what I don't even. And Angelo's in New York as well too. But this is one of Angelo's homies, and they were like, "Yo, who do you have joining us?" He said, "Yeah, man, this is just my homie, and I think he's funny. I think he'll fit in." Yo, Wax and L'Oreal, they just like slightly pause. L'Oreal said, "Yo, this nigga better be funny, yo. Like, who is this nigga?" You know what I'm saying? I was
yeah.
like,
What are you doing,
I
dog?
was like, "Yo, this shit is funny as fuck."
He's got the dumbass background too. It's like he's not. It's almost like he came to the friend group wearing the wrong outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
nah,
you
man.
overdressed. Why you got a green screen?
All right, we're looking at Noble's magic timestamps. Let's just see what it is.
This is in a circle because these are college kids. I'm just thinking about back in the day when niggas used to dead ass be in a cipher, going outside to smoke or doing whatever the case. What are you gonna be doing? And sometimes it's not that they only want to be around certain weed smoke. Don't nobody like the smell of cigarettes.
Yeah, come on, fam. You're bugging.
And to play devil's advocate, like she said she can't smoke weed for medical reasons, but she's smoking cigarettes. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
even worse.
So
Let
that's
me
what-
tell you something. She's tripping.
Yeah, maybe you need to smoke weed.
Because that doesn't make sense, right? Like, how can you smoke nicotine but not?
All I'm saying is, if I was
Maybe
in college
allergic.
and
Some
they
people
said
are allergic
me,
to weed.
if they were saying that to me, that was her excuse. We're all on the site, and she said, "Oh, I can't smoke weed because it's medical," and she sparks up a cigarette.
This is ridiculous.
You know, my friends are looking at
I
her
don't know
like,
what they're talking about.
"What's wrong with her?"
You lose
Yeah,
your touch.
yeah, you
lose
lose
your touch.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean,
Wait, what happened?
look at what I'm working with.
What
You're
happened
always working with something.
what did y'all both say collectively that I?
That
was
he chose a
confused.
bad timestamp. We didn't that wasn't a good indication of
Nice
his,
touch.
of
You know, they're
his
talking
abilities.
about ciphers and whatnot.
They're answering a question from a caller
Oh, okay.
because that's
okay.
what their show. They used to, the Bully and the Bees, the voicemail thing or whatever, and they would give advice to people.
Yeah.
That's what
That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, those two niggas together giving
Yeah.
advice was always
Hilarious.
fantastic. But they didn't get that many questions. They said so. They said the email's drying up. So some of y'all that got life advice that are some fucked up stories, send them in because I'm probably gonna start watching it again. If they just need, they only had 2 and they stretched like 2 questions out for the entire episode.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mike looks a little guilty right there.
He looks a little dehydrated for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
He cut his hair too, right?
I can't tell,
That
but
hat is way too tight on his head, right?
yo, he might be in your club.
What is Wax? What does he do during
He did
the
have
night?
a big ball spot.
He had a huge ball spot. That was years ago.
Yeah, so he might have got rid of it.
Yeah, it looks like he cut his hair. I never got to see him turn to the side. It looks that hat is tight though. Way to cut his hair.
But yep, you know,
Does he look falling off after leaving Charlamagne?
he just looks a little bit like is that. You remember how R. Kelly looked after the documentary? It was just a lot more inflammation in his face and shit. Like it's just it's
Wax look a little withered.
Yeah, you know,
He looks
what I mean?
a little withered for sure.
He doesn't look as strong, right?
He looks like he
I
lost a lot of muscle density.
Yeah.
Well, you
Like-
can't tell from there. It's
can't,
like it's
but-
just
Nah,
his fucking face.
look at the come on, the
What is-
trapezes, my nigga.
His shoulder's not big enough for you.
Come on, man. It's not as big as they used to be when he was really raising them chickens. Like,
No, you can't tell. His face, he looks like he's aging like Beanie Siegel.
Benny Siegel got
He
shot
looks
in
like
the
Beanie
stomach.
Siegel.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
He looks like Beanie Siegel. That's what it is.
There's a resemblance. Right
Old
here.
beans.
Old beans, yeah, for sure.
And he got shot. So what does that say about Wax? He need to take better care of himself.
Yeah.
Beanie Wax, man. That's crazy. But yeah, I just watched Bully and the Beast and I was just like, wow, I really have not been here in a while.
Yeah, I used to watch that shit all the
The
time.
virtual thing is really hard, even though I understand why it is what it is.
You better be very entertaining.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It's terrible.
The audio experience for the virtual thing, man.
You sacrifice everything. Like it got to the point when back when he was living in Greensboro and I was still in Raleigh, we would just load up a bunch of episodes when we was together, just so
Yeah.
we didn't have to do it virtually.
Yo, for real,
Yeah.
Because
dog.
it was like, nigga, fuck that shit. It sounds crazy. It'd be buffering that
It
you can't
does.
account for.
Yeah, I would, especially if these are only an hour. You know, knock out 3-4 hours in one time. That's 3 different shows. I would like them to back in the studio because go back to their YouTube. See when the last time they were even in the studio together. Because
And
it was a lot of virtual shit.
And
But I
internet-
understand, but it's
Yeah,
like
I think.
it just
And virtual
don't hit the same, man.
it's never the same because it's like it's certain body language things that are happening that you see.
Especially adding a new person 7 months ago.
This is 5 months right here. And this
That's
one's
not Bully and the Beast though.
It's Bully and the Beast, episode
Is it-
245.
Is Wax there?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, okay,
He pops
okay.
up in the thing.
That nigga is Wax
They
there.
don't
right there.
believe this shit.
I couldn't see him. It just looked like a bunch of random people click on it.
He's there.
Who are these people?
Just find out they just bullying
L'Oreal
you.
right there, Wax right there.
How long ago was this?
This was 5 months ago.
You don't lose that much muscle mass and that nigga. He looks the same. He does look older in the face though, and that's what happens with allegations. They tend to age you. Yeah.
I wonder what kind of numbers Bully and the Beast does audio wise. They can't be judged off their YouTube at all.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
But
them shits are hiding like L'Oreal's forehead right there.
with that bond, with that
Them bangs.
Them shits
Bang.
incognito.
the
Yeah.
bang.
They're damn near covering her eyes.
Bang.
If she didn't have them long ass lashes as like windshield wipers, it'd be over.